and being helpful. So KyivJS is a part of CityJS, right? So we have conferences all over the place. Lviv, Odessa, and Kharkiv are the one you know. Kirovograd is a new one. It happened in November this year for the first time. There are probably others, maybe DniproJS, maybe HersonJS, something like that. And conference videos are available for some of them, actually for all of them. But so if you go to bit.ly.com/ and you would use like proud camel case, you know what proud camel case is, right? Normal camel case starts with a lowercase first and then camel case all the way, right? These are proud camels, right? Because they keep their head upright. So you would pick the name of the conference, like KyivJS, the year and videos, and you would get to a YouTube playlist. And for Kirovograd, those videos are being uploaded at the moment, so there are like 3 available at this point. For Kharkiv, all videos are available. And KyivJS was a very, very good conference, a lot of great content, great talk by Alexander, great talk by Kirill, all in all, very, very good talks. You should...
talk by you.
Oh, yeah, people tell me that. So. Yeah, you should listen. You should watch them. In YouTube, if you use HTML5 player, you can switch speeds to say 1.5 or 1.25 or 2.0. So the video would run twice as fast, and you can spend much less time watching them. Right. So these conferences are built by local community. We have tons of people who would like to speak at any event at any given time, and because of that, when a conference gets organized, we have a lineup of speakers who are already ready to speak. And because of that, conference organizers are usually not interested to invite speakers from other countries, from other places. So as a result, we have like our local, vibrant, big, great community, but it's very, very localized, and we don't hear the voices from the outside, and our voices are not heard by the bigger internet, by the bigger JavaScript community. So we are thinking about starting an international conference next year, right? But we are not certain, we are not 100% sure if we can pull it off, because we saw the examples of how it happened in other communities. So what we are trying to do is try to gather feedback about how it goes. And to do that, we are starting this KyivJS meetup in English. And we think that all meetups after that would have some talks in English. Not every talk, but maybe like 50% talks. If it goes very well and very well received, then we can probably start doing it 100% in English. But I'm not sure at this point. So it's all an experiment. Last week there was Web Standards Day conference, and I spoke there about this. We have our Ruby community runs a conference called RubyC and invites many speakers from abroad. So last year at RubyC there were about 8 or 10 speakers from Germany, United States, United Kingdom, and other places. But the conference, it didn't work out very well, because others, local speakers, were speaking Ukrainian and Russian, and the audience was not ready to ask questions in English. As a result, most talks by international speakers would end in a silence, and the speakers wouldn't get a good feedback from the conference, and there were some negative reviews after that by the speakers. So this year it was totally different. Some speakers decided to start speaking English, some Ukrainian speakers, and as a result, almost everybody started speaking English, even though people were not prepared to give talks in English. And the audience were asking questions in English, and the whole discussion in English felt pretty well. And so it's pretty clear that there is a growing interest in speaking other languages other than Ukrainian and Russian, and we think that we can pull it off maybe this year for JavaScript or maybe next year for JavaScript. Ruby community is a little bit older, is a little bit more mature in Ukraine, but at the same time it's a bit small. So yeah. And before we start, we have several plugs. There is a guy, Dennis Radin, Pixels commander, who was one of the early JavaScript pioneers in Ukraine, and he now lives in Amsterdam, and he co-organizes ReactConf Amsterdam. And he's interested in bringing speakers from Ukraine to speak at this React conference. So your conference talk should be, of course, in English, and it should be React focused. And CFP is open now, so you can ask, contact Denise. This is his Twitter handle. This is his GitHub handle. So, and he's active on Gitter, so you can just go to Gitter/PixelsCommander and talk to him. I'm doing a workshop on Node.js and API design, and it will happen next Sunday. And if you are not in Kyiv, you can participate online. And here's a promo code to get a discount, right? So you can follow us on Twitter at KyivJS. And we have a very active chat community on DevUA, github.in/DevUA. And we started a new channel called DevUA Events. Over there, you can read about all new events that will happen. For example, about the next KyivJS. The current schedule is based on other events. So if there are some big events around JavaScript in Ukraine in this particular month, we do not hold KyivJS in Kyiv. Instead, we encourage you to go to that event, be it in Kharkiv or Odessa or Kirovohrad or Kherson, anywhere. Ukraine is a small country. It's very easy to get around. And you should just go to, say, Odessa and Lviv and spend time there. However, nobody is interested at this point to do events in January. So it is very likely that we'll have KyivJS in January as well. Once again, this is our hashtag. You should tweet, comment, and just talk about it, post photos. You can probably win some prizes, I don't know. Or like tons of likes and retweets. Stickers. There were stickers out there, right? And that's it. Our first speaker is Andrei Muzalevskii. And after a very short break, while I'll give him my mic and the beacon, he started talking about optimizing graphics on JavaScript.
Interactive pathfinding.
Interactive pathfinding.
My name is Aндреи.
Oh.
Раз.
Okay. So Alexey Raspopov, one of our speakers, is unfortunately ill, so he won't present his talk today. And because of that, we will have a number of lightning talks, small presentations that you can give at home. If you're interested in giving a lightning talk, I encourage you to write the topic here. We have 3 topics already. It would be great if there would be like 5, 6, 7. And also, if you're interested, sometimes we have a discussion among speakers after the talk, after the main talks. We call it a roundtable discussion. If you have questions you would like speakers to discuss, or you would like to discuss together with speakers, just post your question here, post your topic here, we will discuss it. Yeah, that's it. Andrei, you also...
Hi there, and could you please show the slides to the presenter?
Andrew, clicker.
So, today we will talk about interactive path search in the JavaScript. And at start, I would say a few words about me, about my company. So my name is Andreи Muzalevskii. I'm a JS developer on the OroCRM project and working as developer about 10 years, and last 3 years I'm working with JavaScript only. And have a background with strictly typed languages like C#, C++, Java. And I'm working in the huh?
You didn't say PHP, that's why it's one.
It is not strictly typed. And we worked on the big project. OroCRM is the best CRM for business ever. You can find it in the internet. And today I will talk about development of one small feature on this project. It was called Visual Workflow Builder. So at first we need maybe understand what is workflow. Here is a little bit adapted image from the Jira, and it shows task flow. So we have a few statuses or statuses of task, and we have a few transitions between them. So in OroCRM we can edit a way how to manage some entities, some objects in the CRM. And we were asked to provide a visual interface to edit this kind of things. So we started from investigation of existing solutions on the internet and find the two libraries that was interesting. First library was JS Plumb. You can see it on the screen. It provides this kind of user experience. You can drag and drop blocks, and arrows are placed automatically. That was close to what we need, and we provided a first prototype. It was looked like that. There is no design, yes, but overall idea is shown very, very good. What problem, what we needed after this prototype development was that for hard workflows, when we have a lot of errors and transitions and a lot of statuses, we get a lot of crossing connections, and it was hard to user to understand what's going on, what is this workflow is present. So we decided to make some smart algo to place these arrows on the screen. The next idea came from this point. So we didn't want to draw raw arrows, but we wanted to make an angles and shit. And find a path just like here. Okay, so we started from the abstract some pathfinding problem, and it consists 3 points. So we need to build a graph from the environment, from what we have. We need to build graph по которому мы будем искать. Next question is to find a path. And the last thing that we need to do is optimization. It is just topics for next speech. That's our environment, our image that we should connect with transitions. So first idea that came in mind when we're trying to divide this image into the graph, to divide it into cells and use it to search. But the problem with this division is that we need a very small cells, and the count of the cells is too big to process any pathfinder algorithms is in a normal amount of time. So we rejected that. The path will look like that on this presentation. Too much steps to finish and find it. The second idea was to divide the area into some blocks. What is blocks is each square is a graph node, and where these rectangles overlaps or have crossing sides, it is a connection between them. That was the first abstraction that we did and found a path on this view. But the problem was that path looks like that. But we need to draw a line and place it somehow. And we was unable to place a line after the path is found. And it is hard to understand what length of this line. I'm talking about line from the bottom of in-progress block to the top of the open, what's showed here. But we resolved one problem, second problem, and it was almost working, and customer, or product owner in our case, asked us to just, I want to make that all arrows go from the center of the block, from here. And the
pointer.
Huh?
You can click on it to point. There is a button you can click on it, you'll have a laser point. Yeah.
Oh.
But you have it only on this side and not on that side.
So only from the center on the block. And if we will look at the top of the resolved block, this one, then we will see that it is connected to the N and P areas, and we was unable to center this line, and it was fuck up. And this presentation was working. What that image means. So each cross of the vertical and horizontal line is a graph node, and connection are intervals between these graph nodes. In this presentation of our area of interest, we was able to find a path, and just like that. So here the path is going from the center of in-progress block, finds a few connections, and goes to the top of the open block. Next, after we resolved this graph presentation and built some algo that divides our environment into the translates our environment into the graph, we need to connect pathfinding algorithms to find a path. Okay, I will not talk a lot about exact pathfinding algorithms, just a few words about them. Breadth first search and Dijkstra is the simplest algorithm that just traverse a graph and find a good solution or best solution. IDA and jump point search, it's most likely memory consumption decreasing algorithm. So if we have not enough memory, then we can use IDA of jump point search. And after search, it is actually what we selected. It is extended Dijkstra algo with additional heuristic function. So heuristic function is a thing that can take in account human knowledge while searching the path. So we can add some function that okay. На русском. No Russian. So we can at first we can manage speed and result quality by heuristic function. So we can speed up our search, and we can involve a human knowledge into the path searching to speed up it, because the computer is not so good as human. I will show just the second library. And after connecting this algo to our graph that we built before, we draw a first arrow. Wow, that was perfect result. But after, we don't need one arrow, we need a lot of arrows, and we find that we need an estimation function of this line to make estimation function of this line to more complex, because to take into account multiple factors that is usual for human. So first we try to find a path with minimal length, and to increase quality of understanding by human, we also estimate each corner. We add to our estimate some cost for each corner of the line. Also, we need to estimate some crossing of other paths. And with all these estimates built into the estimation function of each line, we got this kind of result. That's what we actually needed. It is close to what is working in the production. So as we see, there are few processes, and it looks very, very close to what human can draw if it wants to place all the arrows. And I will show you okay, that's the interface of forest here. You understand? Anya. That's how it works. So we can see that arrows are changing their locations to solve the problem and find an optimal solution. That also feature to customers of this theorem, because they don't need to care about that. What happened?
That one, okay.
Oh. They don't need to care how these errors are placed, and can just edit the model, and the presentation will be also good. And after that, after we built first algo that showed us a result that we need, what we need, we paid attention to the optimization problem. And for a start search, we place an optimization logic into the heuristic function. So, heuristic function, our heuristic function uses following optimization. At first it is distant to the endpoint. So, when we move closer to the endpoint, we need to estimate this path in the overall queue of the passes to check in future. More reliable. Then, as we take in account corners, so each corner on this of that path has its cost, we need to estimate minimal possible count of corners to reach an endpoint. So we just have a direction of current line and direction of how this line should be connected to the endpoint, and by these two directions we calculate minimal required count of corners. And the last optimization that we did is to extra optimization which depends on spend time. So when we spending a lot of time on searching task, we just say, okay, that's all good, but we need a result. And find maybe not good solution, but we will find it anyway. All that development process was in Chrome. I actually opened it in Internet Explorer in Firefox and see that it is not working good, but I just...
What version of Internet Explorer you used?
Which version did you use? Internet Explorer 11?
10. 10. So it was not good, but I said, okay, optimization later, browser problems later, and did original logic, main logic. And at the final point, we got 22 frames per second in Chrome. So our pathfinding algo works good in Chrome, but how much frames per second will Internet Explorer give? It's a quick question for us.
4.
1.
No, right answer, so I will not answer.
That's failing.
No,
Sometimes
it wasn't.
5, sometimes 0, sometimes 7.
0 is pretty close.
0 is pretty close.
It's not close.
Okay, 0 was close, so it renders one frame in 17 seconds. 17. It's just like this number. We started investigation why.
Why the what?
Why it works so good. And this problem was for Internet Explorer and Firefox too. Оп, пропустил. So, what was the reason? What was reason of this slowdown of performance? So we used the sparse arrays this way. So we use sparse arrays with keys like 1, -1. Two keys about 100 of thousands. And Chrome was capable to work with that correctly. But when we run many times this function, the compiler optimizer in the Internet Explorer and Firefox was used that as I don't know, index of by this array was takes a lot of time, incredible amount of time. And solution was pretty good. We just do that. And we got maybe good performance in Internet Explorer and Firefox. In the real, the Chrome was the fastest version. Firefox was working at 2 times worse than Chrome, and Internet Explorer was working 4 times worse than Chrome. Just a few numbers about browser speed. The second problem that we need to resolve is what we called Firefox delayed rendering. What happened? So usually you do some calculation, JavaScript cycle of calculations, and after that browser displays results. It works in that way in Internet Explorer and Chrome. But Firefox, when we have some hard calculations, it postpones rendering and says, okay, I'm calculating, no, don't render the result. But you update DOM, but don't see the result on the screen. And speed of calculation was good, but we just don't see a result, while you don't stop moving the mouse. This problem was resolved by using browser API, what is called request animation frame function. That function can be used to tell browsers that it should update the user representation to the user no matter it wants. With that I will finish. Thank you.
All right.
Any questions?
If someone has questions, be sure to tell me that. Oh. Is it more? Is this in on? Is it? Okay.
So how many blocks you can render on your page with a reasonable? So when you keep a reasonable speed with them, what is the maximum of blocks you can put?
The hardest case that we have in our system is about 10 or 12 blocks and 20 or 30 connections between them.
Can we have the next question here? No, you one.
I want to ask you, do you have used an SVG or canvas? And also...
we used a library for rendering. We don't care about that. So we just used the JS Plumb library, and it renders the arrows for us.
I believe it is using SVG for rendering.
It has both cases. It uses SVG, but it fallbacks to the VGL, yes? It's the Internet Explorer technology, old.
But SVG renders well in Internet Explorer.
But in the old browser, we have another standard.
For Asian browsers.
Yeah, VML.
VML,
VML is for early.
Okay, I have another question. We have a good technology called about WebGL. Do you have tried to use some things WebGL can provide to render such things?
No, I didn't use it.
Anyone else has a question?
Yes, I do. Hey! Do you really don't have a Twitter? Like, no? Really?
I have a Twitter, but I don't use it. So
Another question over here.
I really want to mention you, but can I?
Hi, another question about performance. You said that the maximum amount of FPS you got in Chrome was 22, right?
that was that amount we got at the when we started optimization of other browsers.
So right now in Chrome, the maximum FPS you can have, what's the number? I mean, like 22 is good, but not good enough.
What is the maximum right now after optimization in Chrome?
I don't know. It depends on the graph, on the situation. For ease graphs, it about 22-25 FPS. For hard graphs, it can fall to the maybe 5 or 8.
Okay, another question over here.
What about mobile browsers? Does it work there?
On mobile browser, we provided only view without ability to the drag. So it uses this algo to calculate the view, but it shouldn't recalculate these errors when you drag it, and drag blocks.
Another question? No, you were raising your hand. Okay. Anyone else have a question? No? Okay, then another round of applause for Andrew. Thank you so much. So right now we will have a break, and we will have a 10-minute break. You can get a coffee, cookies, there is stickers. If you are a smoker, there is a balcony over there you can use to have a quick smoke. And the next talk will be... Oh, it will be Ivan Lavriv talking about KyivJS. Yay!
Я же сказал. А, я понял. Ваня, когда будешь вешать...
Ребят, трансляция через 10 минут.